Muy buenas a todos, gente, y bienvenidos al canal. Bienvenidos a otro capítulo de The Council. En el capítulo de hoy vamos a regresar con nuestra madre después del altercado que tuvimos con Emily, descubriendo lo que más o menos nos temíamos, que tenía una hermana gemela y que esta al final ha terminado muerta. Así que vamos a ver qué es lo que nos puede explicar nuestra madre y cómo va evolucionando la trama, porque la cosa se empieza a complicar y los ánimos están bastante caldeados después de lo de Jack Perú y de lo de Emily. Está la gente un poco ya inquieta. Así que sin más, comencemos.
I don't understand. I spoke to him only recently.
Monsieur Peru has lost his mind. It's obvious.
Yet another way for the
Se le ve un
French
poco
to
la
make a
olla al Perú.
spectacle of themselves. Well, once again it has worked.
My friends, let us settle down,
Bueno, por lo
please.
menos hemos ganado 4
We are
puntos.
all in shock,
de
of
esfuerzo.
course. Let us celebrate Louis's courage. He enabled us to avert a tragedy.
Yes, that was very noble of you, Louis.
You have given us all a fine lesson in courage.
Thank you.
He owes you his life. That's quite something.
That madman deserves to die.
We are providing Monsieur Peru with care, but rest assured, he is no longer a danger to himself or anyone else. I think everyone needs a little rest. Can you stay a moment?
Of course.
Vale, vamos a ver qué nos cuenta Mortimer.
Louis, I wanted to thank you personally. I admire what you did to save Monsieur Peru's life. You have given us all a wonderful lesson in courage.
Don't mention it, my lord. You would have done the same. I was just quicker.
Humility is a fine quality, sir.
Where is he now?
In his room, I've sedated him.
¿Lo
I
he
don't want
sedado?
him trying to take his life again. Or, worse yet, attacking one of the guests. When in despair, Monsieur Peru is clearly a dangerous man.
¿Por qué querría suicidarse? ¿Por qué la aterrorizaba Mortimer? ¿Por qué lo invitó? Esto estaría bien saberlo. Vamos a ver, ¿por qué
Tell
la
me, my lord,
aterrorizaba?
can you think of any reason why he would be so terrified of you?
Terrified? Come now, that's a bit harsh. I think he was simply unable to put things into perspective. I see no reason to fear me. Ask President Washington. I don't believe I'm such a difficult friend.
Having spoken to him, I can assure you that he feared you even more than death itself. Had he disappointed you in any way recently?
Of course, he was on the edge. He was desperate, and it grew noticeable in his work. Our collaboration was probably coming to an end, but I certainly didn't feel the need to threaten him, ever.
But without you, no more support, no more money. It was an end to his social status. If you lost, he lost everything, didn't he?
No, not his life.
Thanks to me, I guess.
Sí,
On
eso
that
sí.
note, my lord, I'll be leaving you. Have we covered everything?
Absolutely. Oh, Louis, one more thing, please.
A ver, qué nuevo
I wanted
favor.
to thank you for your support during the conference. You've made the right choice, and it gives me tremendous satisfaction to have you with me on this project.
¿Merece la pena? ¿Perderemos? No, merece la pena.
What is at stake is worth it, my lord. Now, I won't hide from you the fact that I have no idea by what miracle we could ever get a unanimous vote.
Trust me, Louis. We still have a few more cards to play. You'll see. Anything can happen in politics.
I'll see you later, my lord.
Vuelve a tu habitación. Pues ya se ha hecho de noche en la conferencia, si era de día. Vale, pues vamos a volver a ver qué... A ver si está Emily otra vez. Espera, vamos a ver si podemos ir... A ver, les mencioné a usted.
Your guess is not sufficient. Tell the others, for crying out loud. Remember to close my window once you've done my room. This isn't Corsica, you know. I'm freezing.
Of course.
Este es Napoleón.
I'll see to it straight away.
Good. Proceed.
Yes, sir.
Me está echando la peta aquí al mayordomo. Vamos a hablar con él.
Monsieur Bonaparte.
Louis, once again, bravo for what you did. If it weren't for you, Peru would have blown his brains out. You've got courage. I like this. We just lost a vote for the next conference, and we already had fewer votes than Holm. I must absolutely find a solution.
¿Qué marca la conferencia? La conferencia es lo primero. Vamos a ver. La conferencia es lo
Yes,
primero.
indeed. But I believe if Lord Mortimer is still confident, it's because he still has a few cards up his sleeve.
I hope so. I sincerely hope so. Unfortunately, that vote of Godot you acquired is probably not going to suffice.
Well, it's still more than what you've done, isn't it?
I see you have a short fuse, monsieur. As someone who just started a war with Spain, if I were you, I wouldn't get on my high horse so quickly. In short, we haven't a minute to lose. I'll leave you now.
Just a minute.
¿Qué quería Emily la noche de la conferencia? ¿Qué le propuse Emily la noche de la conferencia? A ver, ¿qué le propuso?
What did Duchess Hillsborough propose last night?
Oh, nothing worth worrying about. The pretty little pudding eater found no better tactic than to threaten me. She would have been better off sliding into my bed. At least we wouldn't have wasted part of the night talking for nothing.
¿Le amenazó?
Threatened you say?
That's what I
Para que no
said.
se nos note
I
tampoco
think I'm going
mucho.
to have to be careful of English troops crisscrossing the Mediterranean for a while. The witch would let loose the wrath of the English crown on my august person. But if she thinks that would scare a Bonaparte, she is mistaken. Now, Louis, time is running short, and as I said, I'm in a hurry. I have to go now. I will see you later.
Vale, pues podemos ver a ver si podemos entrar de una vez a la habitación de Piaggi. No, al Jack Perú le vamos a dejar en paz, yo creo. O no, podemos hablar con él. Podemos hablar con él. A ver si le sacamos algo. Aparte estaba
Sorry,
pegado,
sir,
¿no?
but you cannot go through. We have very clear instructions from Lord Mortimer. Monsieur Peru must rest.
Vale, lo entiendo.
Next time, I'll listen to my mother. Not a day has gone by without something happening to me. What now?
Emily otra vez.
Louis, open up, please.
Coming, Mr. President, I'm coming!
Louis. Ah, there you are at last.
Yes,
I just saw your mother. She was accompanied by Emily, and they both went into the Duchess's room. I tried to join them, but I was refused entry. Louis, this does not bode well.
Oh, shit. Emily might want to avenge her sister. I must act quickly. You're right, Mr. President. Thank you.
Vale, pues vamos a la habitación antes de que la pegue un tiro. Esta, la de Emily, era esta primera. Emily, ¿no?
I do believe that's Emily's voice.
Vamos a llamar.
Emily! Emily, are you there? Answer me! Emily!
A ver si le intentamos abrir. Ah, lógicamente está cerrada. Intentar forzar la cerradura o intentar forzar la puerta. Hombre, podemos intentar forzar la cerradura. Aunque espera. ¿Y si vamos por el balcón? Podemos ir por el balcón y ver qué está pasando. Por el balcón de... Bueno, esta nos va a decir que nos vayamos a la mierda. Ah,
Come
no,
on,
¿y
for
este?
goodness sake, Peru! Wake up! Derichet! What do you want?
Oh, great. He doesn't look inclined to let me pass. Get rid of him.
Don't make me
Confrontación.
repeat myself, Derichet. What are you here for? You wouldn't be in cahoots with Peru by any chance now, would you?
¿Y tú qué? Listo.
What am I doing here?
No.
I could ask you the same question. This isn't your room, as far as I know.
Don't go trying one-upmanship with me.
Estos son
I
gilipollas.
have a very good reason to be here.
Right. Find a way of getting rid of him, Louis. Otherwise, he won't leave you alone.
I am persuaded that Mortimer has a secret room somewhere in the manor. If I'm here, it's obviously because Perrault must know where it is. But you might even know about it. Do you?
Vete al
Look,
estudio,
if
capullo.
Mortimer really has a secret room, you ought to try in his study, don't you think?
Probably, yes.
Anyhow, that's where I would have built one.
I'll go and see in his study. But I'm warning you, Derichet. If you're taking me for a ride, I'll make you regret it.
Right. That's one thing out of the way.
Vale, vamos a ver si podemos hablar con este tío. Buah, está superido.
Monsieur!
I don't want to.
Monsieur Perru!
No. I won't. No. No, no, Dutcher, no!
Oh, man. I don't know what Mortimer's given him, but he's not looking all there.
Está hecho polvo. Vamos a ver.
He's in a catatonic state.
Con ocultismo, vamos a analizarlo.
I've seen patients after a major trauma before, but nothing like this. Mortimer has spared no effort to calm him down. Let's see what he has on it.
Vale, pues este tío no nos va a decir nada. Vamos a ver qué había aquí.
Great, honey.
Jalea real que nos la vamos a tomar. Y vamos a la habitación de Emily a ver qué podemos oír. Esta es la de Napoleón.
It's as if there are several people inside.
Once again, you're the one who's the victim in all this.
Aquí hay alguna cosilla que no hemos cogido.
I should never have
El
told you
elixir
what
dorado
happened
que
to
lo
me.
tenemos
That's
hasta arriba.
you know it full well. I'm not that naive.
A letter
I know
from
you
William
inside
the
out.
Younger.
Vale, esto no parece.
We'll end up losing
The
everything
present
if you
Prime
come.
Minister of the United Kingdom.
Esta,
Emily has indeed some powerful backers.
vale, está nuestra madre en el
Madre,
suelo y esta con una
Thank you for consoling the Queen.
una
The
pistola.
King's situation is worsening, but
Vale, esta ya la había oído. Pero ¿a quién está apuntando esta tía?
what on earth is you, Mother?
How dare you do this to me? You can talk. After everything I've done for you. You are joking, I hope. Right? I gave you my
Es la
life.
hermana,
That's enough,
porque son
Emma.
iguales.
Now that Louis is here, you will leave Sarah alone. Cease your revenge immediately. What?
No
What?
te había matado a ti.
If you think you're going to... Louis, help me, I beg you. I can no longer reason with her. I am Emily. Quit playing games. What? Honestly, don't be ridiculous. No. I am Emily. You are wasting your time. Louis knows very well how to tell us apart.
Sí, pues
After
no tengo muy
everything
claro,
we've been
¿eh?
through together.
Yes, well,
Don't you dare bring him into this. This is between you and me. I ask for nothing more, so stop taking it out on Sarah. You pretty little bitch! How dare you! Now that I've told you everything, you want to take my place, do you? You are joking, I hope. I'm the one who told you everything that's been going on while you were away. Go on then. That's what you want, isn't it? You want to kill me. Go on then, shoot! After all the trouble I've gone through to find you. Go on. What are you waiting for? Here, Louis, take this.
Wait, what's going...
An entire life for this. Go on, shoot! Sorry, Louis, I can't shoot her. She's my sister. That's enough, Emma. Louis, out of the way. She's dangerous. Don't trust her. What are you trying to do? Louis, out of the way. I am not Emma. Come on, Louis, tell her who the real Emily is.
Wait,
That's right, Louis. I'm fed up with this little game. Tell him who the real Emily is.
Why do these things always happen to me?
Well, Louis, come on, you know how to tell us apart, right?
Yes, but
Bueno.
I'd like to ask you a few questions to make sure there's no doubt.
Rational and open, Louis. Let's see. How can I tell them apart? Wait, I've got an idea.
On the night of our arrival,
La noche que llegamos. Vamos a preguntarle a la gemela de delante. ¿Quién nos acompañaba?
who was with us on the wharf?
Cardinal Piaggi. He was with us from when we started traveling by ship. We arrived on the same boat. I already told her, Louis. Another question then. I'm the one who told you.
Right. Let's find something else. Ah, yes. Let's speak about my arrival at the manor.
Vamos a preguntarle a la de detrás, por cambiar. ¿Quién se quedó y quién se fue? ¿Quién había junto a la chimenea? Ah, vamos a decirle esto.
On the night of our arrival, we were warming ourselves in front of the fire. Mortimer welcomed us in a certain way. What happened exactly?
Well played, Louis. Unfortunately, I'm not the one you should have asked that question to. Mortimer did not welcome us. It was Sir Gregory who welcomed us that night. Mortimer didn't show up until 2 days later. I know that as well.
Very well.
Let's try something else.
On the first night, we went up to bed, but I wasn't tired. I went for a little stroll.
Vamos a preguntarle a la de atrás. Me llevé algo suyo, la vi durmiendo. Esto no lo podemos seleccionar. A ver, ¿nos encontramos o hablamos? ¿Nos
Do you
encontramos?
remember if we saw each other that night or not?
No, not after going up to bed. That doesn't prove a thing. I was the one who told you that. Don't think you're going to get away with this deception so easily. I can assure you, you're going to regret pretending to be me once Louis has exposed you.
Right. I don't think I'll get very far like this. I'll have to find something better.
Oh, I don't think I'll even wait until he's finished.
Take it easy now.
Are you mad, Louis?
Lower your arm.
I better act quickly if I don't want things to get out of hand.
Come on, she's putting one over on you.
No,
Look at
debería tener un
yourself for
agujero
crying
de
out
bala.
loud. You were prepared to shoot me down.
Una de las dos tiene que tener un agujero de bala.
In the secret room behind the study. Talk to them about what you've been doing. Maybe they haven't spoken about it between each other yet.
On the night of the disappearance of Elizabeth Adams.
What about it? What do you want to know about that night?
Vamos a preguntar a la de delante. No nos vamos a gastar tantos puntos. ¿Cómo ocurrió
How
la
did you
Gorgona?
vanquish the Medusa?
The Gorgon always attacks the best protected. The sword kills the monster charges the shield reflects the light, and the lantern perturbs the monster. I didn't need more than 2 minutes to solve that enigma. That's right. Make fun of us. That's enough! I've had enough of this charade. Louis, there's only one way to tell us apart. There's
Yes,
just
Lucy.
one thing I didn't tell her about in detail.
Lo de
Too bad
anoche.
for you, Emma. I didn't want it to come to this, but you leave me no choice. Ask her about you and I. You just lost, Emma. I indeed didn't tell you everything about it. Come, Louis, speak about our intimacy.
Very well, let's talk about us.
¿Por qué vino a verme anoche? Vamos a decir, pasamos la noche juntos.
Last night, we spent the night together. But beforehand, you insisted on talking about my choices during the conference. Why?
I beg your pardon. Louis, I did not go to see you last night.
Huh?
Now your true identity is exposed. What did you do? I didn't tell you everything, little sister. I never told you about this episode, so you know nothing of what happened last night between Louis and me. You dirty slut. What did you do?
That's enough, both of you. Now I know who the real Emily is.
¿Emily está delante de ti o Emily está detrás de ti? Emily está delante nuestra. Porque no tiene ni idea de que se acostó con nosotros. Y la verdad es que esta... La Emma esta actuó de diferente manera. Yo creo que es esta.
It's you, Emily.
No, Louis! She is manipulating you!
No, Emma. It's her. I know it. Despite all the trouble you've gone to put one over on me, I know it is her.
That's enough now, Emma. You little slut!
Don't
think you are going to get away with this so easily. You are going to stop your little game right now. Never! I am Duchess Hill.
Hostia.
No!
Emily?
I am the Duchess.
But...
You don't! Dear God, what have I done? See what you've done! See?
Louis?
Mother!
What on earth is...
Go away! You must go. Everyone is going to arrive.
Louis, what's going on?
Duchess? Is everything all right?
Come on, Louis! There's nothing more you can do!
But I...
Leave us.
Emily, what's going on?
Mother, go to the crypt. I'll meet you there.
I'll be waiting for you.
Emily.
Madam, I am coming in.
It was bound to end like this, Louis. Let me stay with her. Please.
No sé dónde la ha disparado, no tiene ni sangre. Reúnete con tu madre en la cripta. Vale. Vale, esto era la de Napoleón. Tendremos que pasar por la de Jack Perú. Jack Perú, que no sé si está aquí o... Bueno, es igual.
Good God! They're all here. They must have heard the gunshot.
Where is Lord Mortimer?
Can anyone hear anything?
Todos menos Mortimer, ¿o qué? Ahora que está aquí este, sí podríamos ir a la habitación del cardenal. Vamos a atravesar.
Did you hear that? I was not dreaming, was I?
Certainly not, Duke Godoy.
What's going on?
Someone had the bang coming from the Duchess's room, but she isn't answering.
Gentlemen, go back to your rooms. Go back to your rooms. I shall find out from Lord Mortimer what this is all about. Thank you.
Hala, humo. Va, pues ya no vamos a poder ir a la habitación del pie allí. Qué putada, tenemos que haber dado la vuelta. Vale, y el jardín se salía por aquí. Bueno, la puerta estará abierta, o por lo menos ya sabemos cómo abrirla. Si la espada sigue en su sitio. A ver. Nosotros metiéndonos por aquí y la mitad de los balcones dan al jardín este. Vale, está abierto. Ahora que tenemos... Bueno, ya daría igual. Nos encontramos aquí un cacho de tela, pero no la pudimos investigar cuando vinimos.
Louis, last, there you are.
Mother, wait,
Come, we have to be quick.
No, wait, Mother,
Time is running out, Louis. First, we must...
No! That's enough! I won't go a step further unless you explain to me what is going on here. I'm begging you.
Sí, estaría bien que nos expliques
You
algo.
must trust me, my son. You are not ready yet.
You're the one who should trust me. Tell me what's happening.
You would never believe me.
I came all the way here for you. Now I found you. I'm ready, Mother.
If only, Louis, I have always taught you to keep your mind open and rational. I know you are going to find this hard to believe, but what I am going to reveal to you is entirely true. Many years ago, I found out that demons really do live among us.
I beg your pardon?
And that they can influence our thoughts.
Mother, listen to yourself. I know you're exhausted, but for crying out loud, listen to what you're saying. Demons? What next? An ancient monster with a head like an octopus? What do your demons look like? Have they got horns and a pointed tail?
No, these are not creatures with billy goat's legs. Forget your Christian folklore. Imagine them more as parasitic spirits. They possess their hosts and direct them from inside.
Parasitic spirits?
Yes, they are capable of going from one body to another as they see fit. And 2 of them are present on this island.
Right, so let me guess.
Mortimer y Holmes, seguro.
Lord Mortimer and Sir Gregory, right?
You felt it too?
No, even if Holmes does look the part. But I don't know who else could do it, given that we're on their territory.
Many years ago, well before you were born, I crossed paths with one of them. Since then, I've spent my life trying to find it again. When we recovered the Alizif, I was persuaded that von Burchard was working for this demon in one way or another. But I thought he would hand the book to a middleman during this conference. That's where I made an error that could well turn out to be fatal. The one who Burchard was meant to give the book to was none other than the demon in person, Mortimer. Not to mention that Holm had sent Volner to get it for him.
Holm and Mortimer are demons?
They both seem to disagree about many things, but I'll admit I never knew exactly why. There are many of them, Louis, not just those 2.
Mother, have you any proof to support any of this?
Of course, but you do too. You had everything laid out in front of you. Didn't you notice anything?
Sí, claro. Hemos visto demonios. Venga, va, vamos a decir que sí. Su estudio secreto, por ejemplo, sí.
I went beyond the nightmare, Mother.
You understood the Masonic date.
1191.
Of course! It was during that siege that the demon took possession of Sir Mortimer. They spent a whole night in conversation until the early hours of the morning. Mortimer had passed the test. He had charmed the demon, and so it chose him to be its host for centuries to come. But tell me, did you find his secret study?
I did indeed.
Did you see his maps of the world?
He has contacts the world over.
Yes, I've been developing the Golden Order across the world for many years, and I've never seen anyone with such influence. It's simply inhuman.
Bueno, también tiene lo de las escrituras. Estas... la conferencia, vamos a preguntarle por la conferencia.
You mean the conference?
How can you explain that someone manages to bring together so many important figures without anyone knowing?
And without any security or personnel. I must admit, I found it difficult to understand how and why Mortimer didn't have a place in history.
On the continent, Mortimer and Holm are mere dandies who organize society balls. History forgets them with a disconcerting facility. No one speaks about them, and yet they whisper in the ears of kings and presidents.
¿Y las escrituras
well, those property deeds across the world, all signed by the same hand, and over several centuries.
I am proud of you, Louis.
I found your notes written in lemon juice.
Where all eyes size you up. At one stage, I was so afraid of losing my mind that I noted everything down. Congratulations, Louis. Wait, please tell me you didn't open Pandora's box.
The urn? Yes, I did. Why?
Too bad. We'll deal with it later.
Vale, pues yo creo que ya no
Louis,
podemos
I
decirle
am
nada
proud
más.
of you. You came all this way. You found me. You have surpassed me.
You taught me everything I know. Right. How did it all begin?
I saw him.
What do you mean you saw him?
I was 20 years old. I was young and carefree. I traveled the world in search of adventure. In the Persian Gulf, we came across an ancient grimoire that became unlocked. Composed of 7 parts, each one was a book in itself, set in a sort of metal armor that structured the whole thing. When all the volumes were brought together, they formed a single book. On my return to Paris, I set to studying these pages. I spent all my days and nights studying them.
Oh, I can imagine you doing that.
But the writing was in a language I had never seen before, developed well before Sumerian in my opinion. So I got the idea to form a small occult circle composed of all the major names in the occult world to see if anyone else could crack it.
And you found no one.
And I found someone, Louis. I found him, or rather he found me. He was young, charismatic, he was flamboyant.
Von Borcher no, Mortimer, supongo.
You mean Mortimer?
He was a veritable mine of knowledge. I showed him the book, and he was able to decipher a few passages. We spent several months together studying the pages. He helped me understand certain passages until I realized that he only translated a few parts for me. But I had aroused his interest. It was too late.
How so?
I mean to say he manipulated me. He used me, and in the end, he stole the book with all its secrets.
Did he ever go to your place?
Not once. At least I don't think so. But before disappearing, he proposed a pact between us. He proposed that I follow him and let him teach me, allow him to bring me up.
¿Y aceptaste, no?
And you accepted.
Please don't be stupid. You don't make deals with the devil. After that, I spent my whole life looking for him. 3 years later in Berlin, I just missed him. In London, I lost 6 members of the order in a chase. In 1741, in Tunisia, I found a sect of fanatics who had crossed paths with him once. 1741, in Poland. 1749, in India.
8 years ago in Venice.
We agreed never to speak about what happened in Venice, Louis.
No, a ver, ¿qué pasa
You
ahí?
agreed, and that was before you spoke to me about demons. Wait, the baby we delivered, you and me, that night in Venice, did he have anything to do with Lord Mortimer?
Háblanos
The
del pacto.
child was his son.
We stole his son? Are you insane? I always thought we took him to save him.
That was the case. It was precisely to save him from his father.
Need I remind you the mother died during childbirth? What became of the child?
Later. For the moment, that is not the key issue here. Once we found the Al-Azif in Paris, I followed von Borchert's trail here. I didn't think it would lead me straight to the demon. It was careless of me. He toyed with me for a few days, until I caught on, until I saw him as he was. But he had no intention of letting me leave. We are all his pawns, Louis, and if we don't want to spend the rest of our lives turning round in circles here, we must absolutely get off this island. All right, can we move on?
Wait a minute, one last thing.
A ver. ¿Qué le pasó a Emma? ¿Qué le pasó a Elizabeth? ¿Qué hacías con el Afar y Wolmer y los cañones de Bonaparte? Bueno, esto da igual, lo de los cañones. A ver, ¿qué le pasó a Elizabeth?
I want to know what happened with Elizabeth Adams.
Louis, we haven't time for those details.
No.
I'm sorry, Mother,
Dímelo.
but I want to know.
She was one of the receptacles for these monsters. I met her parents when she was born. One of the demons got inside her. The demon used her to spy on her father, John Adams. He is one of the founding fathers and vice president of the United States, you know.
Mortimer possessed her?
No, I don't think it was Mortimer. Her father, John Adams, hired me to tend to her, but the evil in her was too deep. In spite of the various treatments I tried on her, I never succeeded in getting it out of her. It's not something I'm proud of, Louis, but I had to try everything.
¿Quién la mató? Vamos a preguntarle. ¿La mataste tú?
Did you kill her?
Of course not. Don't be stupid. I had no interest in getting rid of her.
I want to know what happened between you and Emily's sister.
Great responsibility often brings difficult choices, Louis. That's all you need to know.
Mother, I won't take a step further if you don't answer me.
You dare blackmail me?
I'm listening.
All right, I used her. So there you are. Happy now? We had the Al-Azif, and I didn't think we would be able to escape with it. In order to ensure that the book did not fall into their hands, or that one of them couldn't read in us where we had hidden it, I asked Emily to...
It's Emma!
Yes, or rather for me, it was Emily. So I asked Emma to hide it without anyone seeing, and then I disposed of her. I am sorry for her, but she was part of the Golden Order, Louis. She knew the rules when she joined.
Vale, ¿qué hacías
What
con
did you
este?
negotiate about the Al-Azif with Volner?
Absolutely nothing. I managed to pull the wool over his eyes until I found a way to flee.
Vamos a sacarle aquí todo, venga ya. ¿Y los cañones qué?
What was going on with the cannons in Tuscany?
It was nothing.
No, vamos a... Estamos
Since when
hablando de
does
una
the Order
guerra.
finance wars?
The cannons for that Bonaparte fellow? Listen, once in the lion's den, I did whatever I could to appear legitimate. So yes, I pretended to be interested in Mortimer's project about a young military man who was seeking funding for a foundry in Tuscany. Between you and me, if buying China would have enabled me to escape, I would have signed without hesitation.
Vale, a ver, hay otra cosa. Encontré tu carta en el embarcadero, ¿no? Yo no encontré nada de esto. La de Piaggi.
On the evening of my arrival, Cardinal Piaggi came looking for you. He was determined to give you a letter.
More of his lists. Louis, I think I know what's in that letter, and I beseech you to believe that it is the least of our worries. We can sort that out later.
Vale, ¿y la mano?
Are you going to tell me what happened to your hand?
Better than that. I shall show you.
Nada.
Samuel
La
Leonard
carta que no
Schwab.
encontramos.
You wanted to send me a letter about Godoy.
I wanted you to run a check on Duke Manuel. But frankly, it doesn't really matter anymore now.
Vale,
Godoy
buscar a la
is
carta
just
del
a
buzón.
pawn like the others. He is not the one I was looking for.
Good.
Vale.
I think that's about right. We shall speak
Ya
about
hemos
it once
sacado
we get
todo.
back to France.
Great actions for humanity have been decided by demons for centuries, Louis. They are playing with our destiny. We are their slaves. And it's time for it to stop. By the way, what was Mortimer's project at this conference?
He wants the United States to occupy all the North American territory. France should recover Louisiana and give it to the United States. In that case, the Americans would just have to push west to chase the Spanish from the continent once and for all.
And as Mortimer controls Washington, you may just as well say that it will put him at the head of a world superpower. We should do our utmost to put a stop to Mortimer's plans. But for the time being, there are more pressing matters.
Are you
Vamos a
going
ver
to
qué
tell me
asuntos
why
son
we're
esos.
here?
There. That's why we are here.
Wow, otro acertijo. Bethesda. Vale, he ido a ver a la multitud, he protegido a una de las gemelas y he tratado de entender qué ocurría a Jack Perú cuando me lo he encontrado. No hemos fallado nada y podría haber sido testigo de la determinación de Napoleón, haber hablado con Piaget sobre sus motivaciones y podría haber obtenido información acerca de Al-Azif. Vale, bueno. Prácticamente habría que jugar el juego otra vez para coger las alternativas que no he elegido. Doble juego.
Reassure me, we aren't going to have to force that one, are we?
I don't think we're even capable of doing it. You're going to have to find a way to open it.
Why, of course. And what's inside?
Something to vanquish them with?
Perfect. So, how does it open?
We'll need several keys. I found a note from the architect who conceived the mechanism in Mortimer's secret study. We have to first gather 5 objects before we try anything.
Are the 5 objects the keys?
Exactly. We have the Clement III cross, the nails, the Gutenberg Bible, the exegesis of Judas, an armillary sphere, and all we need to match up the dates between the different calendars.
Wow. 5 cosas. A ver, los clavos serán los clavos de Cristo.
Some nails?
Don't ask me. I'm not the one who made the mechanism, you know. When I arrived, there were already a few of them inserted, so I didn't have to worry about those. On the other hand, I remember seeing some in Mortimer's secret study, behind his nightmare.
In a golden cup? Yes. Yes, I saw them too.
Perfect. It will be easy for you to find them then. You need 3 of them.
Very well.
You remember what to do about the rollers. 1191 to enter, and 6466 to exit.
Of course.
Sí, lo mismo al revés. A ver, la cruz.
Why a cross?
Well, I haven't the foggiest idea, but it just so happens that's what you are going to use to activate the mechanism. I found the one Mortimer kept. It belonged to Cardinal Guibert, better known by the name of Pope Clement III.
Perfect. Where is it?
Unfortunately, I've lost it. When I lost my hand, I went dashing out, and it must have fallen from my pocket.
A ver, recuérdala.
Remember, Mother. I'm certain you can remember.
Let me think.
You were running.
I was bleeding to death.
You remember the pain.
I thought I was going to faint. Yes, I remember. I don't think it can be far, can it?
Would you have lost it outside?
No, I don't think so. It must be in the area. I don't remember going up with it.
Perfect. I'll search the crypt before leaving.
Vale, el exégesis de Judas, ¿dónde está?
Anything else?
Did you manage to vanquish the Medusa?
To open the chimney? Yes, absolutely.
So you've already come across it. It's the Bible of Judas that is exposed in the secret room behind the chimney.
Why do they call it an exegesis?
Because that's what it is, and not an apocryphal Bible, strictly speaking. It's the study of a text with a summary, not an actual Bible. Anyway, well done for the Gorgon. You did well. You didn't get tricked by the light bouncing back.
Thanks. Do you think I can take it safely?
We haven't got a choice, Louis. Without it, we won't be able to work out this cursed mechanism.
Vale, ¿y qué otra cosa hay? La Biblia de Gutenberg, que está, yo creo que la hemos visto también.
This is the book in which you left your correspondence with Duchess Hillsborough, isn't it?
That's right.
You still believe it's in the tower room, don't you?
I don't know. There is only one way to find out, though.
Right. I shall go and see.
Vale, ¿y la esfera dónde
There's
está?
one in the portrait gallery.
Yes, but it's enormous. If you don't want to have to go back and forth several times, then I suggest you get a smaller one.
What did you do then?
I didn't think I'd need one. I started without one, and I lost my hand before I did need one. And you can see the result.
Vale, y a ver las fechas. Que
What
esto
do you
es lo
mean
último
by
que
the
nos queda.
concordance of dates exactly?
Don't worry about that. We already have them. They are written on the back of the message I just gave you.
Vale, pues vamos a inspeccionar la cripta. No hay más preguntas.
One last thing before you go. Be very careful. If you come across anyone, they can all potentially be spies of Mortimer or Holm. Don't ever confide in anyone because a demon can slip inside them at any moment.
Wait, not all of them though. Take Washington.
Especially Washington. He's been conditioned by Mortimer for years. Look at them, for crying out loud.
Toma
How do you
laudano por un tubo.
explain their behavior otherwise? The most influential politicians in the Western world gather together without the least protection, without a single aid to assist them, to participate in a conference during which the guests start dropping like flies. Me, Adams, Peru, Hillsborough. Look at the number of calamities that have happened over the past few days. And not one of them has asked to leave the island? Do you find that normal? You'll see. Go up to the manor to look for the keys, and I wager not one of them will speak to you about my being in Emily's room.
Do you think so?
Go on, you'll see. And come back with all the objects in one go. Time is against us. And remember, the code to get out of the secret office is 6466.
Vale, aquí nos sale lo que tenemos que encontrar. Bueno, primero vamos a ver esto. A ver cómo va. Preguntar a mi madre cómo funciona o analizar yo mismo. Vamos a
Let's see if I can
analizarla.
work it out myself. It looks like a kind of control panel.
Parece... Esto nos cuesta 0 y esto 1. Bueno, hay un hueco en forma de cruz, vale, porque va incrustada la cruz. A ver,
Looks
¿esto
like
qué
certain
parece?
mechanisms I've seen before. I wouldn't be surprised if I had to put the claim of the third cross in it.
Vale, ok. Vamos a
Tell me,
preguntarle cómo
Mother,
funciona.
you wouldn't know anything that might save me some time, would you?
That's where you'll have to put the Clement III cross. You insert the cross into the slot, and it will open the iris.
Vale, y se abre la parte central.
You ought to go, Louis. If someone finds us here, the situation might well become seriously complicated.
Pues yo no sé ni cómo está viva después de estar sangrando por todas partes. Más jalea. A ver, ¿esto qué es?
What on earth is that? A disc with information engraved in the metal? An iris that should open, I imagine, and blood.
Mother?
La sangre.
The dried blood.
Será de
There.
ella.
Yes, it's mine.
La mano a lo
Sorry if
mejor.
I stained everything, but I must admit that at the time my thoughts
perdió
were
la mano.
more on the pain than cleaning up after myself.
Wow.
Did you succeed in opening this iris?
Yes, by putting the cross on the console and the 3 nails on the disc, the iris opens. It gives access to a hole where I put my hand, thinking I could fully open the iris. There's a handle at the bottom, and as you can see, it didn't turn out very well for me.
Oh,
There are Roman
la mano
numerals,
está dentro.
Arab numbers, and town names.
Go on, I'm listening. What do you think?
A ver, hacer la conexión con los clavos. Esto es un... Pensar en los nombres y en ubicaciones. Vamos a analizar el mecanismo. Bueno, el mecanismo nos cuesta 1. Y esto nos costaría 4. Vamos a usar el agua del Carmen para que nos
How many
salga
nails are
gratis.
needed again?
3.
1 nail per type of information, I'm guessing.
In other words?
Well, a nail must be placed on each Roman numeral. 1 nail on an Arabic numeral and 1 nail on a town.
Well done, Louis.
Vale, pues ya que lo hemos analizado, vámonos. Vamos a ver qué hay por aquí. Si es que se supone que debería estar la cruz que se le cayó a esta mujer por aquí. Bueno, ahí tenemos un elixir dorado para cuando nos haga falta. Aquí, a ver, ¿esto qué
Byzant
es?
from the Byzantine Empire. A coin often used during the same famous cross of Clement
Esto, la
III.
cruz.
Perfect. And 1 key
Perfecto.
found.
Una cosa menos. Esto, a ver qué es. No podía haber sido jalea real de esa. Ey, aquí hay algo. Otra moneda. Vale, vamos a ver el cuadro que todavía no lo he visto así entero. Es el nacimiento de Cristo o algo, seguramente. ¿De quién lo pintó eso? Ya es otro cantar. Vale, pues aquí... Oye, por aquí debería de estar el sirviente, ¿no? Llave con el símbolo del aire. Vale, otro libro. No hay nada más por aquí. Vale, ¿esto qué es? Agua del Carmen, perfecto. Y no parece que haya aquí nada más. A ver, esto de aquí arriba. Vale, pues vámonos. A ver. Vamos para afuera, vamos a por las otras cosas. Aunque bueno, con todo lo que hay que recopilar, seguramente que será lo que hagamos mañana. Vamos a ver si podemos ir a alguna zona en la que podamos salvar. Y dejamos la recopilación de cosas para el stream de mañana. Aquí tiene que haber una esfera pequeña. Esa. Esa sin ir más lejos.
Right. It's definitely an armillary sphere, but I have to find one that I can take with me. Otherwise I risk drawing too much attention to my comings and goings. Now, where can I find a smaller one?
Esta estará escondida en el estudio o en algún lado en el estudio este de la Gorgona. Vale, pues lo vamos a dejar aquí. Y ya mañana vamos a continuar con la recopilación de objetos y con todo. Muchas gracias por la visita, espero que os haya gustado, espero que os esté gustando el juego, la verdad es que es muy interesante. Y si es así podéis seguirme aquí en mis directos o en las redes sociales para continuar con el stream. Nos vemos mañana entonces, un saludo y hasta mañana.